Media. We want to try to foresee all the unknown factors, right? Predict all the unknown factors, and really that's impossible to do. But what this does is it really slows down your ability and capacity to be decisive.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast.
All right, happy Thursday and happy podcast day to you. Welcome to the show if you are brand new. And of course, if you're an existing listener, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a relatively quick episode. I've got a lot on my plate today. But before we get into the topic at hand, I just want to take a quick moment and give a shout out to Dawn and Jane, dear friends of mine that are down here from Canada. Yeah, been an incredible help. They're staying with me at the cabin here, so if you hear background noise, they're I don't know where they are actually. They're about the cabin somewhere, maybe outside. But if you hear them, that's them. That's them. And I wanted to recognize them because they've been an incredible help so far. We're in major transition right now, moving my mom up here to the cabin. And so not only have they've been helping move stuff, but they've also, well, the plan is they're going to help us build 2 or even 3 more living spaces up here on the mountain. We're gonna build a couple of tiny cabins. And so, yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out. 2 amazing individuals, 2 dear friends who I consider them family. And they are 2 of the 3 listeners here on the show, the Redefined Podcast. So, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to them. And again, if you hear them, that's Don and Jane. Give them a holler. Okay, so today, so this today's topic comes from our drive over here back to the mountain. A couple of things I noticed, and this happened a handful of times actually, and it's not really, it's not that long of a drive from my mom's to here. It's about 5 hours, give or take, as the crow flies. But yeah, I noticed a few times that and I see this actually quite often when I drive. But people making what I feel like are bad decisions, or decisions that could have been made. Situations where individuals could have made better choices, really. One of the instances, and I saw this maybe 2-3 times on the way up here, is people exiting, right, going up an off-ramp or going onto an off-ramp and then changing their mind last minute, swerving back into traffic. I mean, I get it, I hate making wrong turns and missing turns. And then there was another instance where an individual we were about to go onto the highway, but they, I guess, were trying to figure out or wasn't sure where their turn was or if this was the right turn. And they just sat there for like 5 seconds trying to figure out what to do, blocking, all of traffic. They're right in front of me, blocking me from getting onto my on-ramp. So it's like these kinds of things where people are just, making decisions in the wrong time or bad timing or could have just done things a little bit more smoothly, and with more, with more consideration, especially of the people and the other drivers around them. And so I wanted to kind of give a few quick lessons or principles that I think hopefully will help, not just in driving, but overall in everything that you're doing, right? Everything that you're doing. The first thing is be decisive, right? Be decisive. I think people tend to, especially in that one individual that just sat there in the intersection trying to figure out what to do. People have, I think, a general tendency to take too long to decide. and you're just hemming and hawing about something, trying to, considering all options and what ifs. And I understand that, right? Like when you're doing something new, or when you're exploring something that you've never explored before, like uncharted territory, it's scary to kind of try. Well, we want to try to foresee all the unknown factors, right? Predict all the unknown factors, and really that's impossible to do. But what this does is it really slows down your ability and capacity to be decisive, especially in the moment, right? Like that one individual that sat in the intersection. So I encourage you to be decisive. And come to a decision more quickly than not, because you can spend all day, multiple days, trying to decide, make a decision on something. Now, of course, if it's a big decision, then take the proper time, depending on the decision you're making. Take the time that's commensurate with the level of decision, right? Like obviously, you don't want to necessarily, make a $10,000 investment into a business, let's say, without considering, all the economics of it and the financials of it, et cetera, et cetera. So take the proper time, but be decisive about it, right? Be decisive. Come to a firm decision. Take the exit, right, and go all the way with it, right? Follow through, go all the way with it, and go for it. I think people don't go for it, and people aren't decisive and don't go for it, and then end up just missing the opportunity. Now, as a correlation to that, obviously, you not all decisions pan out, right? In the driving scenario, you sometimes take wrong turns, right? And you end up going not in the way that you wanted to go, and that's okay. See, that's the next thing I want to, the next lesson I want to, or principle I want to share with you today. It's okay to miss your turn, right? It's okay to end up on the wrong road, because you can just course correct, right? You can course correct, as opposed to, making a rash decision to hop back on the highway, right? There's a difference between being decisive and making rash decisions, right? And obviously, being decisive is taking all things into consideration and being decisive. If that decision goes sideways, excuse me, or you end up on the wrong off ramp, making a wrong turn, you can course correct, right? For excuse me, for the lady that just sat in the intersection, she could have just as easily gone straight, and the GPS. I mean, we all have GPS anyways, right? The GPS would have told her how to get back to the route that was going to lead her to her destination. It's okay to miss a turn, and yes, it might be a little annoying, it might be a little inconvenient, but ultimately, again, that's where you learn the lessons anyway, and you learn different routes of how to go about to where you need to go, right? You can't, like, the journey to your destination isn't going to be always peachy, right? There's gonna be road construction. There's gonna be wrong turns. There's gonna be traffic, and these instances where you would hope, that the journey is going to be smooth sailing. These are the instances that will actually help you grow and learn the lessons to get to the final destination, to get to your outcome. So it's okay if you miss a turn. You just learn a new way around. It's okay if you go, if you end up making the wrong turn, you just learn your way around. And so be decisive and be okay with that decision maybe being a wrong turn, because you can always fix. And in the fixing, in the adjustment is where you learn and where you grow. So that's going to be it. Hopefully that was clear. I'm trying to get this recording done pretty quickly. But yeah. Well, the one thing is, drive better. Please drive more safely and be aware of others around you. Don't take unnecessary risks when you're on the road. Even the smallest car is it's a powerful vehicle, and it could do a lot of damage if you make too rash of a decision. So be careful out there on the road, and other things, as far as like creating new goals for yourself or going for something that's new. trying something that you've never tried before, be decisive about it. Of course, examine it and analyze it, and consider all the factors, but be decisive after you've considered all the factors, and then be okay with adjusting as you go. All right, so that's going to do it for today. Of course, we have more coming next week. Have a great rest of your week and have a great weekend. We'll catch you on Tuesday with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.